Hey there, how are you doing this week? I hope you're having a fantastic week as ever. This week I wanted to talk to you about something I gave a presentation on to a local Rotary club earlier in the week. I always talk about things about the mind, health, energy, vitality, and this presentation was no different. It was entitled How to Feel 20 Years Younger, which was really interesting to the Rotarians there because many of them were of advancing years. But the point is that the presentation talked about a number of ways that you can feel younger. One of the ones I'm going to talk about today with you is this experiment that was conducted in 1979 by a lady from Harvard called Ellen Langer. You may have heard of her, you may have even heard of the experiment if you're into this kind of stuff because it's quite a famous experiment. What she did is she took a group of old age pensioners, old age men, and took them to an army barracks, a disused army barracks, which was kitted out as if it was 20 years earlier, as if it was 1959. So everything was kitted out, like the cars, the house decor, the magazines, the radio stations, the news articles on the TV, everything, the TV programs was as if it was 1959. She divided the group up into two. One was the control group, and they were just asked to spend a week there, reminisce about what it was like to live in the 50s, and when they read an article, reminisce about that, whatever it might have been, but just to still be in the present day, but act in a way that remembered what was going on in the past. The other group were asked to act as if it was actually 1959, and they were experiencing this for the first time. So again, they were there for a week, and they had to watch the TV programs as if it's the first time they saw it, read the magazines, engage with everyone else as if it was 1959 and they were 20 years younger. These guys were in their 70s and 80s, by the way. So they had to think about being in their 50s and 60s. And what she found was amazing. After just 1 week, the improvements across both groups were quite considerable, but in particular the group that acted as if they were in 1959, as if they were 20 years younger, had immense improvements, specifically to things like their strength, their flexibility, their height, their weight, their gait, so how they walk, their posture, their hearing, their eyesight, even their intelligence improved. Their fingers became a bit more flexible, and arthritis seemed to disappear. She even took photos before and after, and they looked younger. And this is just 1 week as acting as if they were younger. And this experiment is quite famous, and it was actually redone a few years ago with the BBC and some celebrities on the BBC. But it's phenomenal just that the changes in your physiology, because these were measurable results. This wasn't all in their head just thinking they were younger. They were noticeably younger. Their bodies were younger, their features looked younger, everything that we decide is aging got improved in the right direction after just 1 week. Just shows how powerful the mind really is. And we know this instinctively because we just have to think about something scary, our heartbeat increases without us moving, or we think about something nervous and our stomach churns, or our hands get clasped, or our tongue dries up. Whatever it might be, our mind can control the physiology of our body to the point where we can notice changes. So what I wanted to point out to you this week was that, there are some things that maybe you can benefit from in knowing this. Maybe you want more confidence, maybe you want more energy, health, vitality. Maybe just act as if you already have that. Act as if you're calm when maybe you're not so calm. Just pretend, role play, and let the body deal with the rest. Okay, that is all for this week. I hope you enjoyed that. Please do subscribe for more awesome videos and share the love and let your friends know about this, because I'm sure everyone wants to feel a bit more spriteful and youthful and maybe not have to hit the gym as hard, and you can do that with just the power of the mind. So until next week, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.